Hello everyone, and welcome to Radio Free QuickBooks TV, broadcasting live Studio 1A at Intuit, Plano, Texas headquarters. We're glad to have you. I'll be your host for this segment, Woody Adams. I'm a QuickBooks specialist with Intuit, been with Intuit for about 8 years, and I'm based, of course, here in Plano, Texas as well. Of course, on the show with us, and who we've been together for 2 years now, Stacy Kildal, Brolin, and also co-host and co-founder. Stacy, how are you doing today?
I am fabulous as always fabulous. How are you?
I'm good. No, thanks. I'm having a great day. I got a white shirt on and some corn in front of me. This is actually a Thanksgiving episode, just for you guys who are watching.
You look quite dapper, I just want to say.
Yeah, I got the black coat. My father bought it for me for Christmas a couple of years. It's the only coat I own. But black goes with almost everything. It does. So that'll work. And also our very close friend, co-host, founder, Don Brolin. Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm a little bit jealous you have the corn in front of you. I mean, if I feel like I need a snack, I want to be able to pick at it too, but it's out of reach.
Well, you have
but I've got some dice. I've got a chicken, so if I want to...
Turkey.
Is it a chicken?
It's not a chicken.
Turkey.
We're going to let the head bob a little bit.
So
I got the fun one, right? So I'm doing great. Yeah, loving being in Texas, Studio 1A. It's fabulous here.
And this is
great times.
We got the whole audience out there. You guys
great
can't
audience.
see them,
yeah,
but
they're
we have
awesome.
the audience watching from the window.
Yeah, love
through
it.
the window.
Through the window.
And this is the first episode of our TV version of the show. We've been doing RFQ for what, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
It's been very cool.
Yeah, and this is a big one. This is a big. We have a great guest.
Great guest today.
Very special guest that we asked to be on the first show for a very special reason.
Yeah, and the reason for that, so Jim Buffington is on. He has the second coolest job at Intuit, as he likes to say. Jim, thanks for coming back on Radio Free QuickBooks and for being our first guest again, but TV version.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me back, and you guys have certainly done an awesome job and grown a lot in the last 2 years, and it is fabulous to see how much things have grown and the great work that you guys are doing. So thank you for having me back.
You bet. It's great to have you, and thanks for the kind words. But Stacy, of course, we know she's been driving it. Show's been taking off. She's marketing wizard.
Animal.
I don't know about wizard.
So what, did we figure out the other time you were out, Dawn, about 2 weeks ago? Stacy works 20 hours and sleeps 4.
That's
right.
Did we figure
that one
out?
out?
We did figure it out. It was 20 hours of work, 4 hours of sleep or whatever. But yeah, Stacy drives it. She drives it, so every once in a while on the radio show, Woody and I end up alone. Which is kind of funny, and so we have to manage everything. So that's always funny. And we appreciate the patience of the audience.
It's more of a comedy.
Sure.
Those are comedy 90 minutes. That's nice. For sure.
Yeah. You guys do a great job. It's fun.
So, Jim, you were on the very first Radio Free QuickBooks broadcast. This was like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2009. 10?
10.
We don't know.
Right.
I don't know what year it is.
Today's discussion is similar. We'll get into that, but so that's of course why you're on for TV. We wanted to make sure that it was consistent. First one. So can you tell the audience, remind them who you are and kind of what you do, the second coolest job in Intuit, like you like to say, or third? I forget what it was.
Yeah, so yes, I do have the second coolest job. There's one person who has a job better than mine, and it gives me something to aspire to. But I love what I do. I am an accountant, CPA, lived the business for a long time, for a dozen years, and I get to work with accountants every day. I go to their offices, interview them, do a lot of research with accountants to understand areas that Intuit can help, develop new, cool products, and things that help save them time. And I remember when I heard about Radio Free QuickBooks, and I thought, you know what? We talk in all of these forums, and we've got all this support stuff, but what a great idea to have these.
It's kind of grassroots.
Yeah.
And at first we were thinking, well, I don't know how this will go, because who's going to want to listen about QuickBooks on a Wednesday night or thereafter? But people work and then they listen to podcasts. ESPN, right? I drive and listen to ESPN or Car Shop or whatever. So, I mean, why not it be about QuickBooks and QuickBooks-related issues?
Yeah, pure genius. I love it.
Well, I mean...
It's all
Yeah.
Woody's. It was all Woody's idea.
It was Woody's idea.
However, not a term my wife would use. Thank you, though. I don't know.
I think Ryan Seacrest got his start the same way.
Yeah.
Somewhere around QuickBooks and radio.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, right on.
And he had a black jacket.
Yeah.
There's a lot of black jackets. So that's perfect.
So you're based in Plano too, and you're kind of always the cusp of the wave or the vision for saving time. You know, none of this file transfer stuff, and I know that's a big, thing that you always tell them. It's done with file transfer, and how do we make it faster for them? So, what things kind of have you been involved with, in the past since we talked to you last?
Yeah.
Things have changed, and then what's new for Intuit and the accountant, today?
Yeah, so the world has changed a lot in the last 2 years. Probably the biggest thing is we've had a really tough economy, tough recession. You got a lot of people unemployed, and a lot of people today are coming out of that recession forming small businesses.
Yep.
A lot of micro businesses, a lot of people just starting up all kinds of fabulous businesses, and we've got a lot of tools that they're now turning to that they haven't traditionally. Things like QuickBooks Online and using some of the GoPayment merchant account services to get payment, online payrolls and things. So there's really kind of a shift in what small business is doing, and small business tends to drive what the accountants do, we as advisors. So we see this great opportunity for a whole new generation of advisors to grow up and serve this new wave of small businesses that are coming out of this recession. So it's a great opportunity and a lot of exciting things going on there.
And I think why we've always hit it off, Radio for QuickBooks and Jim, is because Don and Stacy, you guys are always kind of on the forefront. Stacy, again, since high school, been using QuickBooks Online.
Right. Yeah. Since high school.
And both of you guys do payments, right? Mobile stuff?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and we were at the last conference that we were at, and they were talking about the accountants. They had I think it was Jill Ward's keynote with Dan, where they had the early adopters and then the laggards.
Oh, yeah, the laggards.
Right.
And we determined that we were innovators / early adopters
There
here at RFQ.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're definitely not the laggards.
Right.
That's not us.
No.
I was actually,
We're
when
on the cusp.
we were at Scaling New Heights, and we were in that Ryman auditorium, and Dawn was showing me she just got paid through merchant services on her iPhone, and she was seeing, she just scrolled through and see, look at this, and I was like, what? She's like, that's money. That's all my money for today.
Money,
I love it.
absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
But so Don, you want to weigh in? I mean, the mobile thing. Remember, they play your video all the time. You're playing softball, you hit a double, and then you go ahead and do someone's payroll. Or
I was actually receiving payment. Met a client at the game.
Nice.
Received payment because I'll take. See, I always tell people I'll take any kind of payment, just not kids or animals. I've got plenty of animals and two kids, plenty. But yeah, no, I'm all about the mobile technology. Again, and we'll say this on almost every segment because it's just one of my favorite things about accounts receivable. I mean, you just shouldn't have any.
Exactly.
There's so many ways, and I think a lot of the teaching is to teach your clients how to work with you. And because of all the offerings, the payment solutions between GoPayment, between just regular merchant services, recurring payments,
IPN.
ACH. IPN, all those opportunities, it's us teaching our clients how to work with us, and we can minimize and potentially long-term eliminate long-term, receivables.
Which I just want to mention IPN because it
Great
stands
offering.
for
Intuit
Payment Network, and that it puts a link on the bottom of the invoice if you email it to your clients or your customers, and allows them to go online and just pay you. They just click a link and they can just go online and pay you. They don't have to set up an account now. They can do it as a guest. You get paid in 2 days, and it only costs, I think, 50 cents?
50
Something
cents,
like
yeah.
that per transaction. It's really affordable.
so that kind of stuff. So this kind of falls under your. So Dawn is against AR, and she's working that, and you're
She's
against the
against
file
it.
transfer. So this goes with your desktop to cloud type migration. Can you expand more on that?
So we're definitely seeing more people adopting cloud today, and with the new digital businesses, these new digital generation customers, they're actually they want different things from their advisors. So we're seeing different business models with our pro advisors. So you guys talked a lot about payment. Payment's important for the accountant. Paying the accountant is important for the small businesses, and we're seeing more pro advisors that are starting up new practices, not these mature ones. They're just doing a monthly recurring payment with their clients. And hey, I'm not billing you by the hour. Just call me anytime you've got questions. I want you to call me. I want to be involved. I want to help you run your business well. And they're just getting on a flat monthly fee, and the businesses like it better. The accountant gets better cash flow. So some of those things, some of them are technology driven. So hey, I can use QuickBooks Online and on my iPad or on my PC or at the house or away. Some of them are technology driven. Some of them are more just kind of the generation, and it's changing some of the business model and practices.
That flat fee, that's pretty much how I work with all of my bookkeeping clients.
Really?
Yep,
Awesome.
set it up.
You
I
are
have
an innovator.
Yep, QuickBooks Online. I give them their fee. They sign their credit card authorization form. I put in the recurring transaction into QuickBooks Online. It charges their card and automatically sends the email. I get a copy of it. I don't touch it.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I love
That
it.
is awesome.
Automate the whole process.
Every day. It does it on the 1st, so I know all my money for the month is going to be in my account by the 3rd. So love it.
So Don and Stacy, they're out there already, and they've been testing it, and it works. But what about the accountants that if they're leery about Intuit going to the cloud kind of security thing? Can you talk about that a little?
So there are certainly a lot of concerns from our traditional accountants that are on the desktop today. We at Intuit, we have all kinds of security, redundancy, and data centers that are just world class. And we use the same 128-bit data encryption that the banks use, and most of your clients are also using online banking, and they're getting all of their financial information via the internet. This is that safe, that rock solid.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you've e-filed anything, right, Don? I mean,
well, we kind of laugh about that. People have no problem handing their credit card over to a 16-year-old at McDonald's who, you don't know what they're doing with their hands. They got some kind of they got their phone under the counter, and they're taking a picture of your credit card. I mean, how safe is that, right? So I kind of compare that for people and say, well, if you've used your credit card, your information's out there. So
if you've ever filed a tax return, stuff is
exactly.
online.
File a tax return.
Yeah,
exactly.
puts it online.
Everything's moving electronic, and while that seems a little scary to some folks, it's actually so much more efficient. And I talk to accountants all the time who've made that transition, whether it's to e-filing returns or whether it's moving online. And most of them, after they kind of get through that transition, they're always of the point that I should have done this years ago.
Yeah.
They love it.
So that's the realization.
It just drives so much more productivity and efficiency, and the fact that you can get it kind of anywhere and on different devices and stuff, it just feels better.
Yeah,
That's true.
absolutely.
Well, and we also talk about too is if you have it stored maybe on a remote server, or if you're using QuickBooks Online, it's actually probably safer than if it was stored on your laptop because you lose them, they get stolen. A lot of people don't have passwords and things like that.
I was
so it's
weighing in
actually
on
more
a
secure.
community post last week that if I could store my brain in the cloud, I would. It's probably safer there than in my head on most days. But can you mention a couple of the products? Maybe I know we can't always commit to what's coming, but things we're working on that'll help. Like we're going to have Jorge Oliverieta on for ITO one of these days on RFQ-TV too. But like a practice management or things like that.
Yeah, so QBO, QuickBooks Online, is really the foundation of the accountant's office and the small business operations. And so one of the things we've done recently is announce the QuickBooks Online certification. And that kind of helps pro advisors learn all about QuickBooks Online, get much more invested in it, and then it just expands from there. For the small business, we've got all kind of third-party applications that plug in, help them with things like inventory, or if they've got special invoicing they need to do, plugins that do that. From the accountant side, we've got professional tax solutions now that are out there in the cloud that are very close to integrating with that QuickBooks Online. We've got full office management systems with time and billing that are coming online, practice management, functionality to manage your due dates, your client lists, and by the way, do it once, not do it 5 times in 5 different applications.
Absolutely.
So really making that accountant much more efficient there. And so it really takes all of that installation systems work out of their office, and all they need is a browser. And their entire office, all of their productivity tools, their clients, everything's available anywhere, pretty much anytime, if you got an internet access.
So Don, into a virtual office. I mean, how does that speak to you?
Love it. Think about it. Think about how you can have your QBO file, and then you've got Intuit Tax Online, and they're talking to each other so that you're not having to add the customer's information. Obviously, you're not going to have individuals in QBO, right? Well, although you might. No, you might.
You do have their customer information, and so the customer information flows all the way around.
Exactly. Good. That's perfect. And so then you're moving from that, but then you're also having the document management structure that you have to have in place. And in the future, we'll talk a little bit about the tax the tax import, where you can have those documents all stored in one place, where everything's just kind of all syncing together and working together to solve and be efficient. It's all about efficiency.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to get rid of administrative people, but I want to get rid of administrative people.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, no, I hear
Honestly,
you.
you know what? I'll have them do some other stuff.
Make
Trust
them
me,
do
there's
other stuff.
plenty for them to do.
Right, no, yeah, move them to a
But-
review role,
Yeah,
right? Instead of data entry, right?
Exactly.
I get that.
Let's get them to a different level.
Cool. So, any last words, guys? We're going to wrap up here with Jim, and I just wanted to say, Jim, thanks so much for believing in the show in the beginning, and also coming on. I think you said yourself you were the first listener for several weeks.
I think I was the first guest,
Right.
first listener, and now
Right,
the
well.
first TV guest. So wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank
So,
you.
Which is
of course,
awesome.
I think we need to be consistent. Stacy, Don, anything else? Good stuff.
We're just glad to have you back on again.
Yeah.
Love it.
And what we learned from doing this before, we want to hold the shot on the way out. We're going to do a quick 3, 2, 1 and hold the shot. And that's how it is in TV. This is what we're learning because we're not
Yeah.
rookies anymore. So 3,
We're not
2, 1, hold the shot. All right.
Thanks for watching this episode of RFQ-TV. For more episodes of RFQ-TV, you can check out intuitacademy.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to continue the discussions, you can find us on LinkedIn.